And welcome back to the Geelong Cup version of Prop by the Bar.
Yeah.
And here we are. They've given us unfettered access here at the Geelong Racing Club. We've snuck into the Audi tent.
Yes, it's Monday. They're still putting stuff together.
Yep.
And we've been given a chance to have a wander around and have a look at everything, haven't we? And this tent's going pretty good.
And this is not spinning at the moment. We've got a magnificent Audi e-tron on rotation there. So
I've never seen Mike so, let's just say, excited.
Aroused?
To be aroused, to be this close to a state-of-the-art Italian car.
Oh, it's not Italian, it's German, and it's electric. So there's a couple of crosses there, but it does look sensational.
It does look sensational.
Anyway, so...
You're keeping it together?
A little bit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So thanks for the Geelong Racing Club for having us here, and we will be interviewing the CEO, Luke Rayner, a little bit later, up at the members stand. So look forward to
Geelong's new man with a hat.
He is.
Wears that hat everywhere.
Anyway, market.
Market's been challenging because, as we discussed last episode, supply had come onto the market, so about 56% more supply now in the market through the Geelong region, and demand wasn't keeping up. So we saw clearance rates drop right down to the low 60s, and then they've come back to around the 66 mark, and then last weekend I think it was 67. So they started to improve, these clearance rates started to improve, and the clearance rates are showing us that demand, as we said last episode, demand will take longer to catch up to this supply because of the way that funding is created and funding is provided for the banks takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
So the demand is starting to catch up to the supply, which is good. I think that'll continue through to the summer. I think we'll start seeing demand catch up. It just won't be that big sharp demand that was always sitting there in the back pocket. When you brought them to spring, you had a big jump in demand, and where this spring is a slow build of demand. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. And look, I think there's a slight warming of the market. I think last RBA meeting was the first time that their comments weren't coupled with interest rate hikes.
Yep.
I think everyone's resolved. I see CBA are the one and only of the four banks that have come out and are expecting a Melbourne Cup cut, which I can't see.
Macquarie's already gone 5.39% on 2-year fixed.
But if not, I'd say we're pretty safe to get one in February.
Yeah, we have to get one in February, I would think.
So you're going to start having to see a little bit more consumer confidence come back into the market.
People have to also start thinking a bit longer than just when do we get the first interest rate cut, because we're going into a climate where we're probably going to get 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cuts even. It depends on the size of them. And we might come back a whole percentage in interest cash rate. But on the back end of that, all predictions now for economists long term shows that we might come back up. Those interest rate cuts might start to build back up again towards the back end of the year, and into the following year we might be back up to where we are now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We're going to get this low in cash rate, and then it might come back up, and they suspect it's going to come back up because they think that there is, once we drop the interest rate, that there will be a lot more people in the market, and that will push inflation again on everything, and then they'll have to bring the rates back up. I don't subscribe to that theory. I think, personally, I think people are really struggling a lot more than the RBA gives people credit for. There was an article in the paper about how many retail stores have shut down, how many hospitality businesses gone under. I think we've got this two-speed economy with government sector and the private sector, and I don't think the RBA is really acknowledging the pain that's in the private sector. So I don't think we're going to get that long-term rise that they're all saying either. I think we're going to get this drop off through to mid-year next year, and hopefully we'll hit a medium point, a nice growth point from there.
Yeah. So remember back in the days when you'd buy something off the plan, and there was significant stamp duty savings, and then they closed that loophole. Yeah. Well, what has the Allen government announced this morning?
They're going to give you back your stamp duty just for 1 year, and only if you buy an apartment. So,
well, it's anything off the plan essentially. So it'll be apartments, townhouses, units, anything bought off the plan.
Yep.
All right. Now,
I thought off the plan already didn't have the stamp duty in the past.
Well, it had concession, but it had a cap.
Concessions.
In one example, a Victorian who buys off the plan apartment for $620,000 with the land valued at $77,500 would pay just $4,000 in stamp duty rather than $32,000. So a $28,000 saving.
What's that in percentage of the actual purchase? It'd be less than 3%.
Yeah, but I think these are mechanisms. Like we've seen that the high rise market really struggled.
It has, especially in Geelong.
And that used to be a lever, that was an incentive to buy.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that this is going to continue.
Well, it's as predicted,
well
Mike.
beyond.
We sat here at this table and said the government has to bring back some sort of affordable housing support for first home buyers, and that's what they've done. And I think we'll see the federal government do follow on with some sort of support, further support for first home buyers. Perhaps bring back those first home buyers grants and things like that, because that's one part of the market that doesn't exist. They want to see the growth in the apartment stuff because they want to see that growth in those developments in the city, and filling up, getting people feet in the street, in the CBD of both Melbourne and Geelong. So it doesn't surprise me, this move. I just don't think it's going to have the impact that they hope it to have.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a difference between whether you're going to build that 15-storey building or not. That sort of concession. But the taxes are starting to add up now, aren't they? Like, really, we're giving you back, a few bucks with one hand, we're taking with the other, because they've just brought out the Superannuation Concession Tax. So that's a federal government.
Which is federal,
yeah. So basically, if you've got $3 million in your super, and you over the 12-month period, that super property grows in value for, by say, another 300 grand, you'd be up for your 15% tax of the growth that year. Now the difference in this tax is you don't have to realise the actual income or the value of the growth. So you're still going to get the tax even if you haven't sold the property. So you haven't realised the sale or the cash, yet your super fund's going to get taxed that 15% of that 300 grand growth, for example, and you have to come up with that cash that year. So that's going to push properties out of self-made super funds.
It's a bit rough, isn't it?
It's a bit rough. We give you, 3 or 4% in one hand for your first home buyers, and we take back 15% in the other hand to mum and dads, and people with self-managed super funds, so that have battled most of their life to put something aside. So I think the cap is too low, personally, concession cap, because property those prices can go pretty hard.
Oh, well, in some suburbs, that's just...
It's a typical house in Melbourne, isn't it? But, so I think that there's a bit going on there, and you add that on top of the commercial and industrial tax, which started 1st of July, which now in fact every property that's transacted that's commercial industrial that transacts with an extra 1% tax on it annually. So there's it's just adding up, isn't it? Tax after tax.
Now, open up my socials, listen to the radio, read the newspaper. You're on there. What's going on? Have you sorted out Market Square?
No, we're getting closer. But there's a bit I can...
You dominated the news for good reasons this time.
For good reason. You know what? And to be clear, I've got because people have asked me, have you got an interest in Market Square or why are you doing this? I have no interest in Market Square other than I'm a concerned citizen. I as a valuer, I value the majority of commercial assets through the Geelong CBD. I am in a particularly unique position to see the impacts of what's going on, and the vacancies have never been so poor. The CBD has never been so poorly kept, if you like in that word. We can't sell things, things that are selling at land value or less. Since the invent of the Centre Geelong Framework Plan, land value rates in the Geelong CBD have come back about $1,000 a square metre.
Because it's not only just from that development perspective, they're still allowing this work from home.
So we're getting a two-pronged
the office
whack.
market has died, and the inner city living market
So
has
we
died.
need somewhere, Geelong needs something. We're a UNESCO City of Design, supposedly. So we need to have something done about our CBD, and the key to it, and I've thought about this long and hard, the key to it is really simple. We've got to create a hospitable place where cultures, like diverse cultures that we have in Geelong, we can celebrate in that place. We need a place where people want to come and have their lunch in the sun, just like you do in the library steps in Melbourne. We want a place that where you can get some car parking and that you could walk to all our hospitality venues and to our GPAC and to our waterfront. We want a central place where the current transport finishes, which it does, and that can continue to there, because that will give us this central hub, if you like, and I'm calling it Geelong's heart. And what I'm saying is we've got to require Market Square by compulsory acquisition, if possible, or by negotiation, and it's got to be the government, the public sector that acquire it. We've got to knock over the majority of it. We want to keep the heritage aspects to it. There's a big clock tower we want to keep there. There's the shops facing Market Square we want to keep. So we need 1,000 car parks to provide a place for, where people can actually park, all day parking, because the one thing that's killing our office market, we've got 25,000 square metres, that's 2.5 hectares of vacant office in the CBD, and the one thing that all their employees and all the people that are going to rent these places say to me is we can't rent inside the CBD to put our workers there because they can't get a car park. So if we had a place in Geelong that provided, say, 1,000 car parks, all-day car parks, they would have to be at cost. People would have to pay for them, just like they do in Melbourne. But this would provide a place where they would park and they could walk out and venture out through the hospitality venues, through the retail. It would reinvigorate Geelong with one foul swoop. It's not going to be cheap, but I think it has to happen. And us, as civic leaders, as people in the community that care, we have to take a stand on this issue. We have to say to our politicians, our councillors that are being nominated for voting now, we have to say to our state and federal politicians that, we need this. Geelong needs this. We need it desperately. We need it now.
And we need to move on. So let's get to our guests. Let's run over to the members' stand and go and have a chat to Luke.
The man in the hat.
And continuing our sporting theme on Propped by the Bar. Last episode, as you saw, we were down at Club Chin Chin with the Cats. This month we're at the Geelong Racing Club with CEO Luke Rayner. So thanks for joining us on Prop, Luke, and I know it is a busy time. We're 2 days out from the actual Cup, so I appreciate your time.
No, pleasure. No worries. Game on.
Thanks for being here. That's an awesome bit of
Ladbrokes 2024 Geelong Cup.
Trophy. How good is it?
Yeah, that's what they're playing for.
Is it actually real gold?
Sure it is.
Well, I tell you what, we're standing here at the top of the members area, and we've got this panoramic view of the racecourse, and it is looking absolutely fabulous and awesome. Your staff put all this together, don't they? This is all done in-house.
Yeah, they do. So James Dalton, track manager, and supported by about 9 other maintenance staff. So
it's looking
they work pretty tirelessly.
It looks fabulous.
90 mil last Friday will help green it all up.
Yeah.
Not great for some of our dining room roofs, but certainly the grass will appreciate it.
Yeah. And we're expecting Wednesday shaping up.
No, really good. So nice warm day again tomorrow. So James will be super happy with his track preparation. And then forecast for about 21 degrees on Wednesday, which to me 20 degrees is perfect. Attend the races, corporate weather. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold. So if we can get 20, 21, super.
I think last year we just rained all day, didn't we?
We're about we averaged at about 9 degrees yesterday. So, it was fresh.
I think we stayed inside the marquee and it was quite good anyway. It was still a good day.
Yeah.
So we always get one of the marquees down there for our business, and for me, from a business person, it's the most important networking day of the calendar year. It's more important than the grand final day. This is the mecca, because we get all the businesses in Geelong coming to one place to have a beer together and chat about business, and I don't think that happens anywhere else that I can think of. And where we get so many people. How many business corporate people will be here on Wednesday?
Yeah, so in terms of the area that you're talking about, the Home Straight Marquee Village, sponsored by McGrath Real Estate. So we'll have just on 1,500 guests in there, purely business, purely corporate. So it's a great opportunity, as you do. It's a transient day. You can get around, catch up with different network groups, and then out the back we'll have the sort of Canadian Club lounge area where there might be a bit of co-mingling going on over a casual spirit at some stage.
And we walk in and out of each other's marquee, and we go up and down and find each other. It's just such a great day.
What kind of security have you organised for marquee number 4 over there?
Double.
They need double. It's going to be a good day. No, it's fantastic. And so all up in the course, you'll have 9,000 people more? How many expect?
Yeah, I think at 9,000 would be a super crowd. So the last couple of years we've gone 9,000 2 years ago, 8,000 last year on a tough day. Again, with the forecast being around that 21 degrees. I think it'll really appeal to the GA crowd on the day. And there's 3 great activation zones for our GA. So if you are thinking about coming out on the track, I know this is going to film afterwards.
Probably on afterwards, but
I think it's going to be a great opportunity.
But just saying that, it's not. You've got plenty of other events through the year. Like this is just the start of the season, isn't it, for you guys?
Yeah, it's a busy time of the year. So October obviously is our penultimate in terms of our grand final, I suppose. But then 3 in November, 3 in December, 3 in January. So we're pretty constant now through spring and the early parts of summer. summer.
So it's a great place to get down to watch the races.
Yeah, Christmas party's another one that's a great popular race day. I think we've sold already about 15 to 16 marquees on Christmas party, so December 13. So again, it's another great way businesses are supporting our club by bringing their Christmas parties out to the track and having a great day.
Yeah.
So we're having a bit of a chat before. This is Cup number 4 for you.
Cup number 4.
You were saying the first one though was
COVID.
Was the COVID
so
Cup.
If you can see beautiful blue skies in the background, that's what we also had in 2021. But very, very few people on course. I think there was about 10 of us outside of the racing participants, which was pretty surreal. And pretty strange. And then 22, 23 for me. 22 again was a beautiful sunny day. Cotton On had their great big marquee down the home straight. It was pretty amazing. Last year was 9 degrees, freezing cold, windy, wet, rainy. And this year, even though we're forecast for a great day, on Friday we had 100 mil land here on the track. So with all marquees, dining rooms set, certainly threw a cat amongst the pigeons. But that's what you deal with in terms of event organisation and trying to bring it all together.
Yeah, anything can come up, can't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, game on.
So how does one find themselves as CEO of the Geelong Racing Club?
So I guess my background has been in sports administration, sort of starting in football back in 2002 for memory, and then landed over in Western Australia for 5 years working in football. Time to come home with a young family, twin girls born in Western Australia, and had a little whippersnapper from Bendigo, from Wangaratta, sorry, Bendigo, I don't know where that come from. Maybe that was another one. Anyway, it was time to come home from the West and tried to stay in football, to be honest, but couldn't get a job. And then Country Racing Victoria had a job for a regional services manager in racing, and I thought, I've always enjoyed going to the races and don't mind a punt, and at the end of the day it's sports administration. So applied for the job, successful in getting the job, came back home, started work for Country Racing Victoria, which lasted for 5 years. We then moved our department over to Racing Victoria so that they could have a greater footprint in the country and some greater knowledge. So over to Racing Victoria for 9 years, and then basically the CEO role at the Geelong Racing Club came up in September 2021. Applied, successful, and I've been in the chair ever since. So
and originally a Geelong boy.
Yeah, always Geelong boy. So born and bred Grovedale. Just sort of ducked away about 10 years with football, really. So I went away. Time to come home, sort of settle down again, and it's been, the racing industry's been great to me. Pretty diverse, pretty challenging. But ultimately people with great passion, and it really is a juggernaut of an industry, to be honest. And so to be working in it's really challenging. As I said, it's really diverse. Very wide range of people, very wide range of challenges, and that does keep me sort of pretty excited and motivated each and every day. And thoroughly enjoying the role.
And you keep your toe in the footy a bit, don't you? You're still coaching St Mary's, is that right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I say every year. I'm going to give
find a different club for you, could we?
I've been to a few, so I reckon I've shared myself around a bit. I've always enjoyed footy. My kids grew up around footy clubs, so I think it's a great social environment to be involved in as an adult and as a child or a teenager. So that's been super. Currently coaching St Mary's.
Here's a quick question for you. Who do you rate as the best coach in Geelong for football outside the AFL stuff, the GDFL, GFL?
Well, it's hard to go past Buddha because he's just had such a great couple of years. Now I think he's potentially not doing anything next year. But
who's your top three? Buddha?
But I'd say Glenn Keast. Like Keasty's obviously retired now, but had a wealth of knowledge and had an amazing sort of success rate. I think Ronnie Watt's amazing. I think just his level of experience, but his ability to sort of communicate and educate with that younger group. He's done a really great job at St Joey's in his first couple of years.
Yeah, powerhouse clubs.
Yeah.
Well done.
St Mary's though.
You do other cups too, and you put back in the community. You talk about what the business community supports you guys. You guys also support the community a fair bit. Yeah. So you've got the community cup you've brought. And this is your pet. I hear you brought this to Geelong. So it's the community cup.
Yep.
Tell us about how that works and why you wanted to bring it to Geelong.
Well, maybe before I get to the Community Cup, I think it is important that we do really socialise what we do as a racing club back into the community. And we've got 10 Friday race meetings, and each one of those 10 Friday race meetings, we would partner with an organisation of some description, whether you're Cottage by the Sea, whether you're the APCO Foundation, whether you're Right Mate, whether you're Torquay Cup, whether you're Geelong Chamber of Commerce, whatever the organisation is, we partner in some capacity where funds get raised on those days that then go back into significant programs. Yep. Health Foundation with Girls on Track and so forth. So I think from a racing club point of view, it's something that we don't do well enough, and we actually are very active in terms of trying to support many different organisations. The Community Cup, something that's been born out of our Metropolitan Saturday Race Day. This year it'll be, 2025, it'll be January 4th. Yeah. It's our second iteration. Last year the Community Cup had 18 individual entities purchase a ticket.
Yep.
And we had a fantastic day in terms of they get to bring along 20 guests to the track.
Yeah.
They get their umbrellas, they get their table furniture and chairs and so forth, and they come and have a great day. But importantly, they then go into, let's just call it a raffle for a better word, to try and secure a slot or a horse in the Community Cup race. And then once that final field's been finalised, we then distribute 40,000 cash through a distribution model back into those community groups. So it's pretty significant money.
So last year my club participated in that, and I came as one of the representatives. We got to go out there, see the horses and everything's part of it. We put our $500 in to buy the ticket, and then we thought we had lost. And then Luke rang us up after and said, actually, everybody put in, we're going to give you your money back as well. So we didn't actually lose a cent. No. We put all our money in, and we could have won. I mean, one of the clubs that did win, they won the pot.
It's $20,000.
$20,000, and for some of the local sporting clubs, that's massive. So it's a great day for people to get around.
Yeah, so if you're a non-for-profit, if you're a charity group, or if you're a sporting community organisation, you all qualify to purchase a ticket. It's all online, www.grc.com.au, and you can certainly secure a spot there.
Yeah, perfect. So standing up here, Luke, as I said before, it's absolutely beautiful. Right? It's an amazing spot in Geelong, and really probably, it's well utilised by you guys, but some of the surrounding stuff probably not as well utilised as we could. Mike, what do you reckon?
Well, is there a vision in terms of what you see here take place?
Absolutely. So the club, the club want to be progressive, we want to be proactive, and we want to sort of probably make sure that we continue to position this place, not only for our benefit, but also for the benefit of the community as well as we possibly can. So as a club, we're certainly exploring multiple options, and I think there is a couple of different opportunities that may be presented to the club as we move forward, of which much will take sort of discussion as we move forward. But a real bold vision is that potentially, we could look at an alternative site where we could basically build brand new facilities, be well positioned where we can get a high number of trainer allotments associated with it. With new facilities come obviously potential for lights, multiple racetracks, multiple training tracks and so forth.
To a whole precinct.
That would need a new site for that to occur. Obviously here at Geelong Racing Club, we are landlocked as we currently sit. No more stabling, no more training tracks. We won't get lights. We can't race any more than 25, 26 times on our current course proper.
And it is Crown land.
Crown land site, So really what we've got here is, I guess, our lot and our future. If we were to stay here, then I think there's really great benefit for us to connect with council, connect with other sort of participating groups within the precinct to see what we can do with this total site.
Well, the more you talk about that, it makes me think, well, you've got the showrooms the showgrounds next door. They're not utilised that much, like one day a year or something. Surely there's got to be. The Geelong show's great, but that could be something that the racecourse help facilitate. Look what they're putting on here, but out there you've got all that land. That could certainly be part of it.
Well, I just think in terms of its location, like where, you go to any of the major regional centres, whether it's Ballarat, Cranbourne, Pakenham, Bendigo, they're all quite out of town. This is right in town. But I think when you look at our total site, you've got so much inland land. You've got so much land that sits between us and the showgrounds, and then you've got so much land in the showgrounds. So my vision is that I think this should become a greater community and sporting precinct.
Yeah.
And whether that's inclusive of an oval for the Cats in terms of VFL, AFLW, Geelong Falcons, whether we can sit a basketball stadium in there, whether
There is a bit of talk about that.
whether we can get netball courts out into the middle, whether we can get soccer. It's amazing.
You know, basketball and netball is still so underserviced. Like we've got so many teams on top of each other in both those sports. I mean, the Cats, they obviously also need another venue now that they're going to use their ground for other things as well. So, I mean, why not have a big hub? And as you say, it's in town. So being in town, it's so accessible.
3 kilometres to the CBD. 3.5 kilometres to GMHBA Stadium. There is an old railway platform over here that you could reactivate as an event platform.
That'd be fantastic.
Bring people in by rail, bring people in by bus, and
that's one of the bigger issues of running any sort of events. It's access for public and transport. If you could activate that station again, wow.
Infrastructure's there.
It's all sitting there, waiting to go. So so I look forward to hopefully trying to generate some discussions with council and other participating groups to sort of see whether we can get our heads together and maybe develop this as an overall site, ensuring, of course, that from a showgrounds point of view, that they get another site somewhere elsewhere, and whether that's out at Beckley Park or that side of town makes sort of probably potential sense as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, there's a lot to look up for in the race club. There's, big visions are great. I think Geelong need leaders that are prepared to put big visions out there, and we need our politicians and our leaders in the community to get behind it. So, well done. Congratulations.
I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
And special thanks to Luke for that open chat, and he's got some pretty big plans. So.
I like a guy with big plans. Big plans is what this town needs, and he's got where he'd like to get to, in the ideal world. Then he's got where it'll probably likely get to, and that's really good. It's good that he's doing that.
What was the biggest takeaway from that chat?
Just how dynamic he's thinking, how big he's thinking. I think that's great for Geelong. For someone who's representing one of our biggest sporting, venues, we need someone like that to keep pushing that along.
How about his ideas on the footy coaches, though?
Well, the funny thing about that was the omission of some Mr. John Fitzgerald. Didn't get a run in his best top 3.
Didn't get a mention.
Not a mention.
So, anyway,
I heard, just before you wrap that up, I heard that John Fitzgerald coached you at some point.
He did.
Didn't teach you much, did he?
No, he didn't. No, not going to lie there. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining us once again for another episode. Hope you've enjoyed. If you want to continue to hear from us, don't forget to subscribe. And before we actually nod off for this month, just make sure you just hang on to watch a little bit of roaming Gareth at the Geelong Cup. So some funny stuff to come out of that.
In 2 days' time, I'm going to be running around with a microphone, and you're all in my sights.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right, here we are, standing here at the Geelong Cup, and who would have thought there's a cost of living crisis going on, because there is people piling into the Geelong Cup, and they all look absolutely awesome, all geared up, all dolled up, suits on, frocks on, and we're looking for a really big day at the Geelong Cup. It's great to see this sort of, sporting thing, culture at Geelong. So, let's go and have a talk to a few people. All right, so I'm here and I've just ran into Kira. Kira's looking absolutely stunning today, dressed all up for the Cup. Have you got any tips?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Any horse that looks fit?
Is that horses or men?
Probably both.
Probably both. A good day for Kira. Hey, have you? So you're a Geelong girl? Yep. And what's going on in Geelong for you? Is it life good?
Yeah, life's good. I actually work in the racing industry. Work with them off the track.
Yep.
So I ride the horses once they retire. So I work for a retrainer that does that, and I'm also a support worker. So
that's fantastic. So you got a bit of inside gossip. What's going on here today?
I hope so. I mean, I'm just going to look and see if there's any good trainers, like who they are.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, look, have a great day. Thanks very much for being on Props. Cheers.
Thanks.
So I've just run into the famous John Canellis, Geelong's most reputable accountant.
No, I
Preeminent accountant.
Johnny Fitzgerald. Swing on the Johnny.
You're up for a big day, mate?
I am.
You got any tips?
I do. Would you
Yeah, we're off to tips.
I've got number 3 in race 4.
Number 3 in race 4.
Race 4, number 3.
All right, we'll see how that goes, eh? Welcome to the Cup. Today's a great day, isn't it? This is for Props. Now you're on prop by the bar.
Yeah, I'm on prop. Okay, that's all right. Any property for sale today?
I think everything's for sale for the right price, John. Everybody turns up to the Geelong Cup, the one and only. Previous council for Geelong, Pat Benane. How are you, Pat?
I'm great and looking forward to a great day.
Any tips?
I like Brown to Claire to run a place in the cup.
Well, we're about to find out how good Paddy's tips are, so that's fantastic. And what's going on in Geelong? You want to tell us you're doing a lot with Geelong Connected Communities and things like that at the moment?
Yeah, Geelong Connect Communities is going well. We had the big yoga event at fantastic, about 250 this year.
Yeah, fantastic.
We'll build it up each year, and the ground can take 2,000, so that's our aim over the next 2 or 3 years.
It's a great cause.
Yeah,
well done.
Breed the play and active Geelong.
Well, you're a good man, Paddy. You're doing a lot for Geelong. Thank you very much.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers.
Have a good day.
All right, so I've just walked into this group of lovely people. They're all looking absolutely fantastic for the Cup. Have we got any tips, guys?
Be kind to your mother.
Be kind to your mother. That's the best one I've heard all day. Fantastic. And you guys all Geelong people? Yeah, you get out and about. What do you think of the Cup? One of Geelong's best sporting events?
No.
No? What do you prefer?
Probably game down at GMHBA Stadium.
Yeah, you a Cats fan? Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for being on Propped. Have a great day. All right, I've just run into Jack, the juggler. Yeah. Is that right? How are you, Jack? Yeah. That's pretty cool. So can you do that with this, you reckon, with this thing?
We can give it a go if you're fine with him.
Probably not. Yeah. So you guys are here to do some bit of juggling and other stuff. Keep everybody entertained. Look at him go. Look at this, is fantastic. And you got some stilt walkers. Are they part of your crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, how cool are they look too? This guy's a bit epic. Look at that. Any tips for the races?
Any tips? Bet on someone on a horse.
It's a good tip. Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Well done.
Okay.
Cheers, mate. Rightio, so I'm standing here with the great Peter Sarah, who's Select Architects, one of the Geelong's most esteemed architectural firms, probably the most renowned for Geelong too. How are you going, Pete?
Good, Gareth. Good, great day at the races.
Getting a few wins?
I have had no wins, no bets, so I'm ahead.
You're doing better than me. Hey, so, Pete, you got any big projects to tell us about? What's going on?
We've got a few coming up. There's a lot in the retail space.
Yeah.
So the supermarkets are keeping us pretty busy at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Oh, excellent. Well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Gareth.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. There you go. Well, I'm standing here with Wayne Jennings, and Wayne Jennings has been one of the long-time developers around Geelong who's doing quite a lot of work and a lot of different projects for a long time. And you do quite a bit around town. So at the moment, you just finished the Flintstones development up behind Aldi in Hyde and Warm Ponds. Yes. And how's that going? You almost finished, yeah?
Yeah, third stage, Nexus is just about done. That's all up 64 apartments, and it's done. We've gone through sort of the hard yards with COVID and all sorts of things, but it's come up really well. We've sold out the first 2 stages, and we're really happy with stage 3.
One of the things I noticed about your site out there was the change in the amount of trades on site over the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, compared to earlier in the year, even in late last year. Yeah. But it looked like you were struggling to get labour, struggling to get trades, and then all of a sudden, in the last few months, you're really busy out there.
Yeah, look, trades are not hard to get. We've got plenty of trades. The ones we've got obviously have been working long hours, and that's why that job's going so fast.
And is that a big change to how it was last year?
Yeah, big change.
Yeah, so we're starting to see the labour come back big time, yeah. And you've got a few other developments on the go. We've got the river, down the Barn River.
Yeah, Latrobe Boulevard, that's an exciting development.
Just behind Pegasus Antiques there.
That's right, next to Barwon Grange. That's going through town planning at the moment. We're hoping to get a positive answer from the council, and that's again about 74 dwellings with a pool, gym and a cafe right on the riverbank. So that's exciting for us.
It's exciting for Geelong. It'll change the whole way the riverbank sort of looks and feels, and how the Barwon River actually reacts. So it'll be real good.
Yeah, no, we can't wait. That's one that we've been working on for probably about 15 years. So it hasn't happened overnight.
No, it's been a love project.
That's right.
Well done, Wayne. Really, congratulations on all the stuff you're doing, and thanks for coming today.
Good, Gareth.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. And I've been able to find Roddy Brown here. So Roddy Brown and I go back a long way, but Roddy is now the State General Manager for Westpac. And across all of Victoria and Tasmania as well?
No, just Victoria.
Just Victoria.
Yeah.
And so how are you seeing things from a banking perspective? How are things going at the moment?
It's a bit of a mixed bag, really, mate. Like generally pretty good. Like most of our customers are quite resilient, but there are some pockets where it's really tough.
Yeah.
Like your high-end retail, those guys are finding it fairly tough at the moment.
Have the banks got an appetite to lend?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we had double-digit growth in the year just gone, and we've got big ambitions to come in and try and grow our market share and continue the growth. I think though it's about trying to choose the right industries and segments to really double down on and go after.
Yeah, and do you think in the next year, what are you guys sort of thinking is going to happen in the market? Do you think things are going to sort of build pace and get going again, or do you think we're sort of on the same trajectory? Where do you see things?
Maybe it's wishful thinking a little bit, but it feels like we'll get out on the other side of Christmas. Hopefully we'll get some interest rate cuts and things will just kick on a bit. Hopefully that's all it takes. It'll just create a bit more confidence.
Yeah.
Particularly in the Victorian economy, we're lagging the other states.
Yeah.
So our customers the language is changing. Like they all want to invest and do a few more things.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, well, thanks very much, Roddy. Thanks for coming on Pop by the Bar and have you any tips for the Cup?
Mate, I can't pick a thing, mate. So.
No one knows.
4-7, race 7.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. I have cornered him. Adam Davidson from Huga Property.
There's two of us. So
there is two Adam. This is the interesting thing. There is two Adam Davidsons, both doing developments in Geelong.
One of them's a dentist. That one's not me.
One's a dentist. One's from Melbourne. One's from Ballarat. Huga. Now, Huga's got a few different. You've done the bottle works recently. Just finished the bottle works development.
Trying to get it finished. Hopefully it'll be finished soon. It's been a long haul, but I'd like to see the heritage apartments built soon. So
that'll be excellent. So that's getting there. And so are they on sale at the moment for those properties?
Just a couple left. We sold 4 out of the 7. We'll have a couple left at the end. We're sort of going to wait till they finish now, I think. So
You've had some big properties in Ballarat you've been developing as well, yeah?
Yeah, we've got a project in Ballarat called Lions Place, 58 apartments, so we'll have a half sold, going well, topped out the other day. So.
And give us a picture when you're trying to do these different regional areas. How difficult is it or easier is it to develop in these regional spaces compared to Melbourne?
I think you just got to start with the right mindset, right? We were talking this morning, and it's knowing the local nuance, like why some are going here and some are going there. So also at the moment we're doing a lot in Adelaide because had enough with Victoria.
Have you? Yeah, there's a common theme here. So
still here, still going, but the last couple of years it's been Adelaide for us.
Is it the taxes and stuff like that that's pushing you over there, or the market?
I wouldn't know because it got so confusing over here. I can't tell at the moment, but I think it's that.
Well, every week we get another property tax. So
we're always looking back over here, keen to see where it's going here again soon, and maybe a bit more positive in a year or two out.
It would be good to see. I think there's a bit more coming on, maybe.
Just need those valuations up a little bit more.
Well, we'll do our best. And I think there's a bit more going on with Huga Property in Geelong coming up. And do you want to delve into any of that, or tell us? Do you want to give us any hints about what's coming up?
We got an approval for an apartment building at 7 levels, sort of a boutique custom thing.
Yeah.
But we're exploring where we go with that project at the moment and just waiting until the time's right, I think.
Yeah, excellent. Well, we love it. You love it that you're having a crack, and well done, Adam. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.